Canada holds many records in the world, but this one is maybe one that we don't want to be so proud of. I've got here Ramona Remesat. She was just in the shop, and she's got a class coming up Thursday, February 10th, all about gut issues, GI health, and I guarantee almost every single one of us knows somebody who deals with these types of issues. And we were just chatting, and Ramona shared this little known statistic, this kind of record-holding position that Canada has. What is that all about?
Canada has the highest rate of IBS in the world. It's about 18% in Canada, and worldwide it hovers at about 11%. So yeah, we are really high.
Wow.
With IBS. And another little known fact out there, guys, pretty recent research now shows that 70% of what we're defining as IBS is actually caused by something completely different. It's SIBO, and that might be a new term that you've never heard of. It stands for small intestine bacterial overgrowth. And the downside of this is if you've been given an IBS diagnosis,
which is kind of funny, isn't it? Like
yeah,
irritable bowel syndrome. It's like
yeah,
right off the top they're saying, well, we don't really know. It's just, we know that you have an irritable bowel,
that's right.
But that's
right.
kind of all.
Yeah, and it is a diagnosis of exclusion. They test everything else first, and then if nothing checks out there, they're like, well, then it's just IBS.
We'll put you in this box.
Yeah. And so, you know, that's kind of as far as it goes for a lot of people. And without addressing the underlying cause, you can still be doing further damage to your GI tract.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where people are still having symptoms. They're having like what we would call unresolved issues, or they're running from practitioner to practitioner trying to figure out what is going on here. Why am I so bloated shortly after I eat? Why am I having abdominal pain or discomfort? You know, why are my bowel habits, you know, one extreme or the other, or kind of alternating between these two kinds of things? And these are sort of the hallmark symptoms of SIBO. And yeah, they're kind of spinning around, you know, not getting answers. And so this is what I want to share with people so that you can finally get help, right?
It sounds like a story that might be familiar to you. Is it?
Yeah. How'd you guess?
Well, isn't this the way though, right? Like so many healers, so many people that undertake the path of natural health, food, nutrition, herbs, etc. We do it for our own self, like our own journey of like, we got to figure this out.
Absolutely.
And then once you do, you go like, oh, okay, I figured it out. Like, who wants to know the answer?
Yeah, absolutely. Because that was my situation. I had been having, you know, those exact same symptoms I just talked about, and, you know, went to the doctor, and they figured it was IBS. And, you know, then I ended up in the hospital with diverticulitis. And when I was in there, I actually talked to the, you know, GI specialist who was on the ward. And I said, you know, could this be the reason why I've been having all these? And you kind of dismissed it all and just, you know, I asked, do I need to make any dietary changes, anything like that? No.
Oh, nothing
just
about that,
take these antibiotics and you'll be fine, right? And you know, so at that point, you know, at that time I went to the doctor and I said, you know, what's going on here? And so then, you know, they're like, okay, well, we can look at a couple things. They sent me for testing for H. pylori, you know, which causes like, you know, ulcers and ulcerative disease and so on. And at the same time, though, this IBS thing, it just wasn't sitting with me. And so I went to see a naturopath, and she looked me in the eye. She said those magic words, I think you have SIBO.
Wow.
And I'd never heard of it at that point. Like, that was brand new to me, right? And so we did the test, and I went back to my MD to get the H. pylori results, and he walks in the room and he's like, your test is negative. And I said, like, I knew it was negative. Do you want to know what it actually is? And you know, presented him with this whole idea of SIBO. Now, admittedly, he's like, I really don't know much about this. But I was very lucky because he was totally open to learning, you know, having me share information. He's like, I want to support you with this. If you need pharmaceuticals, if you need whatever from me. So I was really fortunate because I'm telling you guys, this is not always the case. And in fact, as I wanted to learn more about this condition, I got into some Facebook groups, and there are some people's stories in there that are heart-wrenching.
Oh gosh.
They've gone years trying to feel better, trying to find somebody who can help them, being dismissed at even from specialists, they wait months to get into this appointment. They go in and it's like in 15 minutes, they're kind of like shoot out the door.
Right.
Even if they bring up SIBO, they're told it's not a thing or it's not possible for you with the type of stuff you've got going on. And it's heart-wrenching. So yeah, so I'm going to be, sharing more about what the heck is SIBO?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing also, it isn't a standalone condition. It's caused by something else.
Right.
And if you don't find out what that is, you will be one of those chronic relapsers. You can treat it and treat it and treat it, and it just keeps coming back.
Right.
And I'll tell you from experience, guys, that's not fun.
No.
So we'll talk about, how do you figure out your underlying cause? How do you test for it, especially if your practitioner isn't really cooperating with you? How do you find somebody who can assist you? And in the meantime of all that, what are some steps that you can take so you can finally start feeling better? Because that's the key, right? We don't want suffering. We don't want people to be having these terrible symptoms all the time. And there are steps that you can take without needing to get permission from any kind of practitioner, needing anything fancy. That you can start doing. And I'm going to share a lot of resources as well at the end of the presentation to give you guys some avenues, to go down. And we'll also have a live Q&A, so you can ask me, any questions. I will preface that with, I'm not a doctor and I don't play one on TV. So all the information will be for educational purposes, right?
Yeah.
But please, talk to your practitioner before beginning any kind of a treatment or whatever. But so
okay.
So that's really, you can kind of tell I'm passionate about this stuff, guys.
Yeah.
Because I'm going on year 4 of it myself. And I have to say, I feel great though. There is light at the end of the tunnel, but it can be frustrating and it can be difficult if you don't know the right questions to ask, don't know how to find the right people to help you. And you're, like out there, like so many, jumping from practitioner to practitioner, just trying to find that answer, right? And,
for sure.
and they don't know. It's not their fault, but they're not in the know.
Yeah.
So they can't even direct you. I was so lucky to have that naturopath that said, I think it's SIBO, and she knew about it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it wouldn't have been on my radar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Amazing. Well, thanks for doing all the work, and I know you're doing it for yourself, but you really are doing it for others.
It is for others.
And this class is just one part for her to get out her message. So if folks have liked what they've heard, how can they connect with you, learn a little bit more about you? Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Instagram. So I am studying herbal medicine. I have my Instagram herbal medicine account, so you can follow me at healing.path.herbals, and I'm on there, and of course Facebook too. So
all right, excellent. And if you're interested in this class, it's going to be online and in person, so you choose if you want to show up and be in the room with Ramona. And I know there's already a bunch of people signed up. We got people from across Canada that are going to be tuning in.
Yeah.
So you can join the online version as well, 7 to 8:30 Mountain Standard Time. And if that timing doesn't work for you, then you get the recording too, right? Regardless whether you're in person or online.
And if people have questions and can't be on live, send in your questions, and I'm more than happy to connect with you afterwards and answer your questions as well as I can answer them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So super generous offer. This is an amazing opportunity for the, what was the percentage? 18%?
18%. And that might not seem like a big number, but I can tell you it is millions of people. And the spending on IBS alone, this is a US statistic. I couldn't find one for Canada. But it is just under what people spend annually on Halloween.
Wow.
So I think it's 10.5 or 10.7 billion spent annually in the US on Halloween every year, and I believe it's 10.5 billion spent on IBS because of all the invasive testing. They send you for colonoscopy, for endoscopy. All these tests that aren't really needed. Right?
Amazing.
So,
Okay, so whether this is directly related to some of the issues that you are facing personally, or somebody you know, or if you're a practitioner and you really want to understand this to be able to help your clients more, be it a herbalist, be it a nutritionist, be it a naturopath, this is the session for you. So go to lightseller.ca, classes and events, live events, you'll see that listed there, and it's coming up right away.
If you're local, get down here for their new hot chocolate.
Little plug.
Shameless plug for, you didn't know I was going to say this, by the way.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's delicious, and so it's the YYC hot chocolate test, right? Is that what it's called?
We're in the first day. It's February 1st.
Yeah,
so here we go.
So it's a perfect day in Calgary to get yourself down here and warm up with some hot chocolate, guys.
Right on. Okay, well, thanks a lot for tuning in, everybody. Feel free to share this out. Give us a like, give us a comment, and check out Ramona and give her a follow as well.
We'll see you February 10th.
All right, bye for now.